Really cold, eh? Winter is definitely here. But that also means skiing, so that's pretty good. Hey guys! Welcome to another one of our live session in which we are spending an hour hanging out with you guys and answering all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. So if you do have any questions, just ask the expert because yes, we are the expert of traveling in New Zealand. But why is that, Laura?
Well, this is Robin and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide and literally has thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip in New Zealand. And that's whether you're on a family road trip in a camper van or here for a whole year on a working holiday doing some backpacking. We cover all aspects of travel in New Zealand right on NZPocketGuide.com. But if you're not really into reading, we also do this handy live Q&A session every single Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time, which around the world, that's around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. in the UK and France on a Saturday evening. In the US, that is around 4 p.m. EST and 1 p.m. PST? Yes. And in India, that is on a Sunday morning at 1:30 a.m. And in Australia, that is also on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m. But we do have a handy link in the description below where you can convert the times and all that from where your location is. But yeah, throughout the week, we also take questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos, which we've done right here, which we also go through during this live Q&A session as well.
All right, so first up, first item on the agenda, we'll do a giveaway today. It was really fun to do it a couple of weeks ago, so we'll do another one today. So stick around the end of the video. We'll do another game now, like similar to what we did last time. And then what do we have on the live chat? So Anthony says hi from California, USA. How are you doing, Anthony? Angie Aju says it's 12 a.m. here. If I remember, you're from Dubai, right? So I think I'm correct on that one.
Thanks for joining us so early or so late.
Jazz Narula says, do you help guiding students find good university? Not really, because we're a travel channel here, right? So we are happy to talk about traveling in New Zealand. Sometimes we talk about the cost of living or finding like seasonal jobs because some people come in New Zealand to visit and work a little bit along the way, depending on their visa conditions. So sometimes we talk a little bit about that. So we talk about the kind of the quality of life in different cities. But when it comes down to university, knowing if they're good or not, we don't know anything about that. And it's not really what we do here. Morena says extreme talota. So if you guys don't know what Morena means, it means good morning in Maori, which is the native language here in New Zealand. And he asked us how we are. We're doing pretty awesome. Pretty cold, actually.
Yeah, it's really cold today. Yeah.
How about you? Are you warm? Are you by the fire, warming up? As you say, I appreciate that you remember us. Of course we remember people. And then Adil says hi from Pakistan. How are you doing, Adil? Hi. All right, so while you guys are warming up, asking us some questions in the live chat, we are going to go through some questions that we received throughout the week. And the first one that we have is from Chitij, and that may be interesting to all of you guys because we're going to do a full itinerary all around New Zealand and tell you a ton of stuff about traveling in New Zealand. So let's get started.
All right, so this question is from Chitij saying, Dear Robin and Laura, hi, we are Diksha and Chitij from India. We watch our YouTube videos and live chat regularly and find it really helpful and look forward to it. We know that borders are closed, but we want to be prepared. We need your help in making an itinerary for our 3 weeks honeymoon road trip in New Zealand. Given below are some details which may help you in making the itinerary. We are planning it in the month of December, covering both North Island and South Island, and we want it for 21 to 22 days. Our total budget will be 13,000 New Zealand dollars, which includes accommodation, car rental, car insurance, fuel, activities, food, etc., except flight tickets. List some of the activities that we want to cover on our road trip would be the skywalk, bungee jump, scuba dive, blackwater rafting, heli hike, skydive, swing, skyline gondola, kayaking, and the Milford Sound Cruise. These activities are done at many locations in New Zealand, therefore please recommend which location would be the best to do the respective activities. Also, please suggest how many days to spend on which place and also suggest the name of the accommodations where we can spend our night. Also suggest the number of ways how our budget can be economically used. Request you make the proper 3 weeks honeymoon road trip itinerary, including accommodations. Your advice would be great help. Thank you in advance. Regards.
Whoo! All right, so let's get started. Get our trusty map outside, out, and we are going to be talking about all the places you should be visiting. So the first thing that I would like to point out is that in order to work on your budget economically, first you have 13,000 New Zealand dollars for about 3 weeks road trip in New Zealand. It's a very good budget. But the main way we're going to look at your budget is that we're going to go cheap on accommodation, meaning that we're going to send you to budget or hostel accommodation. And there you can get yourself a private room. And you also have the option of private room with an ensuite bathroom, meaning that it's a private room with your own bathroom. So you don't have to share too much, but that will save you a lot of money that you can therefore spend on all your activities. That will be the main way that we're going to save you money on this itinerary right here. Anyway, here are the places that we're going to be hitting. First up, you're going to probably land in Auckland. So let's get started with Auckland.
Sure.
Ooh. Then we are going to head to Hahei, or the Bay of Islands. Then we're going to go to...
No, not the Bay of Islands.
Sorry, Hahei. Sorry, Coromandel. My bad. Waitomo.
Sure thing.
Rotorua.
Yep.
Tongariro.
Yep.
And then we're going to go to the Ruahine Forest Park.
Ooh.
Yeah, a bit of a stop here. Wellington. Then we go to Picton.
Of course.
Nelson. Punakaiki.
Yep.
Franz Joseph.
Yep.
Wanaka. Queenstown.
Yep.
And then Mount Cook.
Yep.
Geraldine.
Yep.
Christchurch.
Okay.
And then you fly back up.
Sweet.
All right. So let's get started with the itinerary. So obviously, landing in Auckland is usually the best way to find a cheaper flight to New Zealand. So that's a good way to save some money. Plus, this is basically where most of the flight will land, and anyway, you have to transfer and go somewhere else. We don't have that many flights that actually arrive in Christchurch or in Queenstown or in Wellington. They are all international airport, but it's easier to land there. Also, you say you want to do the Skywalk. This is the best place to do the Skywalk.
It's the only place to do the Skywalk.
Exactly. So this one, you don't have a choice. You've got to do the Skywalk right up in Auckland. If you do have some spare time and you feel like you want to deal with a jet lag, you can get an extra day in Auckland and explore some island like Tiri Matangi Islands, which is fantastic bird paradise. You're going to see so many different birds and everything. It's amazing. Or you can go to Rangitoto Island. Rangitoto Island is a volcano. It's an extinct volcano, so you're good with that. And there's some beautiful lava fields, and it's a nice little hike that takes you up the crater of the volcano, which is about an hour, yeah. And from there, you also have a beautiful view of the skyline. To get there, you need to take a ferry from downtown Auckland, so you actually get to explore the Auckland Harbour as well, and it's rather cheap, so that's a good place to get started. Now, I will refer very often to this article that I already sent you, but it's New Zealand in 3-week itinerary right here on NZ Pocket Guide. I will give you a link in the description below. And in there, you have the link to all the accommodation that I'm going to mention. So for this one here, staying in Auckland, I will suggest you stay at Haka Lodge, which is the second one on the list. It's a hostel, but again, you can get a private room and ensuite private room, which are really good. Then you're moving on to Hahei, Laura.
Okay, so since you have scuba diving on the list of things that you want to do, this is this sort of area around the Coromandel is a really good place to do scuba diving. More in particular, going to Whitianga, which is pretty close to Hahei. And they do some good scuba diving tours out to a place called the Mercury Islands. And also, it's a bit further north, and that's kind of usually where it's a bit warmer to do scuba diving. The further south you go, the more chilly those waters feel, or at least like the whole temperatures in the South Island tend to feel a bit chillier. So if you're concerned about trying to be as warm as possible, that's probably the best place to go and do a scuba dive as well.
And you can also do kayaking at Cathedral Cove, because I know it's on your list as well, if you feel like doing that. So see if you want to spend 1 or 2 days there. And for accommodation, we recommend getting yourself a cabin at the Hot Water Beach Top 10 Holiday Park, because you're right near Hot Water Beach, which you've got to discover. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on all the way
Waitomo.
down to Waitomo. So Waitomo is where you can go explore all the beautiful glowworm caves. You can also do some blackwater rafting, which is absolutely epic. But you've got to at least just go in the glowworm caves and actually check that out. It's absolutely fascinating.
Well, blackwater rafting is on the list of things to do.
So definitely blackwater rafting. This is where you want to do it. So you can go with a company called Waitomo Adventures, which is fantastic to do some caving over there. Or you can go with the legendary Blackwater rafting company, which does like the Blackwater rafting tour. But the Waitomo Caving Adventure is actually a really cool one to try, actually. And it's a very similar tour, but the caves are slightly bit different and really, really epic. So, definitely worth checking those one out. The Waitomo Top 10 Holiday Park as well does have some private cabins, which are quite cool. Or otherwise, you have the Waitomo Backpackers, in which you can get yourself a private room. Okay, we're moving on to Rotorua.
Okay, in Rotorua, I'm just going to check if you have anything on your list. The Skyline Gondola is on your list of things to do. And because the Skyline Gondola, there's also one in Queenstown, but we would actually recommend to do the one in Rotorua. If that is the case that you want to do the luge there, which is kind of what most people want to do when they go up the Skyline Gondola. The Rotorua luge, it's a bigger sort of basically amount of tracks. There's 3 tracks there, and they are probably in our opinion, they're kind of the best tracks to do for the luge. So definitely that's the thing to do in Rotorua. But for other things that aren't on your list, it's also a geothermal sort of hotspot. They have lots of geothermal parks, which is really cool. And also they're really well known for the Maori culture. So if you want to see some sort of cultural performances, or maybe go to a Maori dinner night where they do traditional Maori food known as a hangi, then you can go and do that sort of activity in Rotorua as well.
So it's definitely a 2-day stay.
Yeah.
Then we're moving on to Tongariro. So for Tongariro, you can stay... for accommodation in Rotorua, you're going to stay in Spa Lodge. Spa Lodge. So it's a little bit down on the list. But again, check out the article. I already gave you the link. I know we did chat on the comment section. But yeah, so it's Spa Lodge is the one that we recommend. Okay, then moving on to Tongariro. So obviously the Tongariro crossing is probably the most popular day hike in New Zealand. So it's definitely worth doing. You can either stay in Taupo, or you can stay in Turangi, or you can stay in Whakapapa. So there is 3 different areas where you can be staying. We only recommend staying about 1 day. You get there, you do maybe 1 or 2 nights, depending on where you want to stay. And you just do this big hike and then you drive again. For accommodation, we recommend Taupo de Brett. So it will be the first one on the list in the article that we mentioned.
And they also have hot pools there at that, it's like a holiday park kind of style accommodation with private cabins and stuff to stay in. And they have a hot pool sort of water park like complex on site, which is a pretty cool place to stay.
Here you go. And then we're moving on to a beautiful, stunning forest. It's just because this drive is a little bit long and you have a bit of spare time, so we like to stop along the way.
Yeah, so in the Ruahine Ranges, we're kind of thinking about one accommodation you could go and stay at is a place called River Valley Lodge. They're famous for some of their adventure activities. They do whitewater rafting there. They also have horse trekking, which is pretty cool as well. And the lodge itself is in a really scenic location. They have private cabins there, which is ideal for a honeymoon. They have like a restaurant there as well. They have some stunning walks by the river, and we do have videos of when we stayed at River Valley Lodge. So make sure to check those out on our channel. If you just type in River Valley Lodge NZ Pocket Guide on YouTube, you're sure to find it. But yeah, I think that's about it.
It's really awesome to stay around here. And then we're moving on to Wellington. Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand. You will be able to learn so much about New Zealand by visiting the Te Papa Museum, which is a free museum, and it's a fantastic one. So it's a great way to save money, to just, add some free activities in there. And you have to, go to Wellington because you have to take the ferry anyway. Accommodation over there, the Hotel Waterloo and the Dwellington, both of them are the top one on the list on the article, and they're fantastic, and they have great private accommodation. And then after, you're going to have to hop on the ferry to go explore the South Islands. And on the South Island, you're going to arrive in Picton. And a lot of people leave Picton straight away, but I think Picton is definitely worth staying one night and exploring a little around. What can you do in Picton?
Well, if you're looking for another place for kayaking, Picton is a good place to go to. It is sort of the entrance to a place called the Marlborough Sounds, which is a very scenic area of New Zealand. But they also do cruises there as well. Of course, everyone's heard of Milford Sound, and I know you're keen to do the Milford Sound cruise. But if you're into that sort of activities, one of the sort of overlooked but like sort of underrated activities, which people should definitely try out, is doing cruises in the Marlborough Sounds and kayaking as well. Often there's wildlife interactions as well. Like you can often see seals, there's dolphins in the Marlborough Sounds as well. So if you want to try your chances at a wildlife interaction, then the Marlborough Sounds is a good place to do that.
And if you want to find a good accommodation in Picton, check out the Tombstone Backpackers. First, the neighborhood is pretty quiet. It's just right opposite of the cemetery, which is quite funny. But they do have some private room, and they even have a private kind of caravan where you can stay. It's very fun to stay in there. So see if you can get that accommodation. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
And then we're moving on to Nelson, which is probably the kayaking mecca of New Zealand. You can go ahead onto the Abel Tasman National Park. A good way to actually explore the national park is to do both kayak and hike tour. So you will be taking by boat onto a small cove. Then you're going to be kayaking around a bit the national park, and then you're going to drop the kayak there and walk your way back. And it's quite awesome. It's a full day activity, but you get to do everything that is on offer in that stunning national park. It looks like absolute paradise. So it's absolutely fantastic to stay here. There is a lot of really awesome accommodation over there. If you want to stay in Nelson itself, so you can go for Nelson City Top 10 Holiday Park. Same thing, they have great little cabins and everything. Or you also have the Tahuna Beach Hostel, which is also offering private rooms, which is quite nice as well. Both of the links, again, are in the article that I will link at the bottom of the video, and at that, I already gave it to you, Kshitij. Anyway, we're moving on all the way to Punakaiki, Laura.
Taking a bit of a detour.
Yeah, nice little drive. So this is going to be a bit of a full day road trip, isn't it?
Yeah, so because this is quite a long drive, we suggest that you stop midway in the Nelson Lakes National Park. A very popular stop there is at Lake Rotuiti. Basically, it's a superb photo stop. There's a jetty. You can get your obligatory photos there.
Mountain backdrop, placid lake, jetty. Just jump from the jetty, take the photo, and you're gonna want to print it on a canvas.
Yes. Then you're going to get to drive through the Buller Gorge, which is a very nice scenic drive as you make your way to the west coast of the South. And then you'll start heading down the west coast, and not too far down there, you'll find the little town of Punakaiki, which is famous for the Punakaiki pancake rocks. This is just a 20-minute sort of loop walk on the coast to see some really crazy rock formations where it looks like stacked pancakes. That's why they call the pancake rocks. It's another place you can do kayaking. It's another place you can do horseback riding. It's a place where you can do stand-up paddleboarding if you wanted to try something different from kayaking. They have stand-up paddleboarding activities on the river near there. So yeah, that's Punakaiki.
I'm really bad at stand-up paddleboarding, just saying.
Yeah.
All right, and so if you want to stay somewhere nice, try the Te Nikao Retreat. Sending the link. It's the last one on the list on this one, but yeah, it's pretty cool, and they have great private accommodation as well. All right, we're making our way to Franz Josef. I know that on your list, you want to do the heli hike on the glacier. Definitely, absolutely worth doing. So if you base yourself in Franz Josef, if the weather is not that great, you can always go to Fox Glacier, which is a little bit afterwards, or you can go to Mount Cook later on down your trip. So trying to do it in Franz Josef is the right way to do it, because if you get to do it, you're good. There is also some awesome kayaking, like a Glacier Lake Kayak. I think that's the name of the company.
Glacier Country Kayak.
Glacier Country Kayak, sorry. So really awesome kayaking there to do. You can also do a hike to go from quite a far but see the face of the glacier, which is quite nice. And you have some amazing hot pools, and you can get some private hot pools as well at the Franz Josef Glacier pools. And so like that, you can just be you and your lover and have a nice private honeymoon time. So that's definitely an awesome area to stay there. And obviously, the main accommodation there, the biggest, the best, is Rainforest Retreat. Rainforest Retreat is fantastic. Say hi to Oscar at reception. when you when you check in, it's such an awesome place to stay at. No question asked.
Yeah.
You will love it.
They basically do all types of accommodation. So if you want to treat yourself to something more luxurious, they have that. If you want to go for something much cheaper, they have sort of backpacker private rooms and stuff like that. So whatever you want, they definitely have it there.
All right, and then you're going to drive to Queenstown with a quick pit stop at Wanaka, so you get to stretch your legs and check out the lake, and you go all the way to Queenstown.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to skip Wanaka. I just realized the amount of days. We're a bit stretched right here, so you're just going to do a pit stop in Wanaka. You don't need to stay there.
Okay.
So, okay, let's drive all the way to Queenstown.
Okay, so in Queenstown, let's see what you have on your list. You have a swing on there. So one of the really cool activities to do in the adventure capital of New Zealand is the Canyon Swing. It's a pretty crazy activity. You can do it together. You can do it like tandem. It's definitely
you're on a honeymoon.
Honeymoon experience.
You have to do it together.
So that's a really good place to do that giant swing. If you want to do a bungee jump, then they have 3 different types of bungee jumps. In Queenstown, you can do the ledge bungee, which is where it's wrapped around your waist, the bungee. So you can sort of like, or not the bungee itself, but the harness is around your waist. So you can do some freestyle moves if you want to impress your new hubby, or you can do the Nevis swing, the Nevis bungee, which is the highest bungee jump. If you want to just do the highest bungee jump there is in New Zealand, then that's the one to do. Or you can do the original bungee jump of New Zealand, which is at the Kawerau River. That's still a pretty awesome one to do just over the river. It's a very scenic location as well. So you've got 3 choices there. I mean, whichever one appeals to you the most. It's hard to pick one in particular, but they're all pretty awesome.
So since you also want to do the Milford Sound cruise, we actually recommend you stay in Queenstown and then you just take a bus that goes all the way down to Milford Sound, does the cruise and bring you back up all in one day. You're already going to be driving quite a lot. Let just them do the driving and then you can enjoy the view so much more. They know where to stop. They stop a lot along the way. You have a full video of us doing that actually, so you can check all of that out. And it's definitely worth doing from Queenstown. Now,
I was just going to say you do have a skydive on the list as well, which although we've actually passed it, and there are skydives in Queenstown. I would actually recommend doing a skydive in Franz Josef. Yes. The scenery there is it's very diverse. You get to see mountains. You can see all the way to the sea. You get to actually see some of the highest mountains in New Zealand, which is pretty cool.
And if you really want to save some money, you can do it in Taupo because that's the cheapest in the country. And the views are pretty good as well. All right, so accommodation 1 in Queenstown. I recommend Absolute Value Accommodation. It's right in the center of town. It's great. It's new. It looks great. I like it. I like Absolute. Those guys are quite cool. And also Sir Cedric Tahuna Pod is also a good one. And something you can get private accommodation in both of those. So that's pretty awesome. All right, let's make our way all the way to Moncook.
Okay, so this is going to be quite a long drive.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah,
something like this.
All right, so in Moncook, you can do another heli hike. So if the heli hike on the glacier didn't work here, you can definitely do it in Moncook. It's on top of the Tasman Glacier, which is the longest and largest glaciers of New Zealand. It's fantastic. It looks amazing. You can also do one of the cheapest scenic flights, which is called Moncook 360, where you get on the plane and you check out all the Alpines, the Southern Alps and everything. It looks amazing and it's quite cheap. You can also do some fantastic stargazing because it is dark sky reserve. So there's really a lot of awesome things to do around Moncook. So whatever you basically didn't have the time to do, you can do it here. So definitely worth doing. And sorry. The Aoraki Moncook Alpine Lodge is a great place to stay at, or the Aoraki Moncook Motel. Same thing. The 2 links are on the article. God, my throat is gone now. Let's go to Geraldine while Laura talks and I take a sip of water.
Okay, Geraldine is a good stop between Mount Cook and Christchurch. On the way there, you probably want to check out Lake Tekapo, just because it's very scenic. It's very famous in New Zealand. But in terms of staying there, there's not like a ton of things to do. And that's why we suggest to actually stay a little further up north at Geraldine, where you'll also be closer to Christchurch. It's just a better sort of pit stop to go there. In terms of activities, if you are interested in doing whitewater rafting, there's whitewater rafting there. Grade 5 rivers. It's pretty scary.
Horse trekking, really really epic
horse trekking as well. And of course, like there is anywhere in New Zealand, in any of the places we've already mentioned, there are a ton of walks to do to check out some of that famous New Zealand landscape.
All right, so
there's also an alpaca farm.
Accommodation-wise, get yourself a private cabin at the Geraldine Top 10 Holiday Park. And then we're moving on to Christchurch. So you're going to finish your trip in Christchurch and then take a flight back to Auckland and then fly back home. That's really what we recommend. So you get to do the most around your trip rather than having to drive all the way back to Auckland. And so, yeah, in Christchurch, if you do have some extra time, you can definitely check out all the gardens that there is. You know, you're here for your honeymoon, so check out some beautiful flowers with your beautiful lady and enjoy yourself.
And if you are coming, if you do manage to make it in December, that will be in summer, so all the flowers will be nice and in bloom.
Exactly. And if you do have an extra day, you can take a day trip to Akaroa with a lot of amazing activities to do there. You can check out little blue penguins. You can check out the Hector dolphins, which are one of the smallest dolphins in the world. It's a fantastic area, super romantic. It's the French town, so you can have some nice food and everything. So it's kind of fun. And accommodation one in Christchurch, we suggest you stay at the All Stars Inn on Baileys. So same thing, it is the link is in the article that I linked below. All right, so I hope that this covers all the activities you want to do in your time frame, Kshitij. If you do find this video useful, or if you're watching this video and your name is not Kshitij, give us a like. It's a great free way for you to say thank you for all the hard work helping you plan your trip to New Zealand. If you have some question on your own, in the live chat right now or in the description, in the comment section of the video. And if you're new here, subscribe. We do like things like this almost every single day at the moment. We publish a ton of videos. So here you go. All right, let's go back to the live chat. How are you guys doing this morning? What do we have? Clay say, hey guys, hope all is well. Yeah, everything's well. Just really cold, you know. It's winter now. So
it's probably colder in Dunedin though, so we won't complain too much.
Aditya Dash says South Island versus North Island. We have a full video about that. Well, Laura and I battled it out.
It's one of our early videos.
Yeah. So it's a bit cringy because it's really early, but check it out. Actually, I think I was taking the South
Island probably. You always you have the tattoo of the South Island on your leg.
Yeah, that's true. So I always take the South Island. And Laura took probably the North Island. Clay said Lulia left out Dunedin. So Kshitij sent us a request for like helping him with the itinerary. He only had 21 days, so we had to make some cuts around. You see, I even had to cut Wanaka along the way just to make sure that we have the right amount of days for him. So sometimes you have to cut some places, but it doesn't mean that Dunedin doesn't have amazing things to do. I mean, we really do.
Yeah, I mean, if he had specified on his itinerary that he really wanted to see wildlife, for instance, or the sort of things he wanted to do was like adventure activities, which Dunedin isn't really known for.
It's wildlife, Dunedin.
Exactly, it's wildlife, it's architecture, it's student
parties.
So it just didn't really seem to fit in with what he was looking for. But anyone else, we would probably say definitely go to Dunedin.
Joshua Ulrich say hi. How are you doing, Joshua? Thank you for joining us another week. Mira says hello. Hey Mira, how are you? So thank you again for joining us another week. Mira, this time you may have a chance to win another prize. We are doing another giveaway around the end. So if I remember, you showed up last time. You saw people say numbers. I'm just gonna say a number. So so stick around and you may get to do the giveaway around the end. So that'd be cool. Apurva Kumar says, hi, what happens if someone's house is damaged by an earthquake in New Zealand? Does the government cover the recovery costs? What? No, which country does that? No, you on your own. You either have an insurance, and then the insurance, because they're gonna say, oh, it's unforeseeable damages and everything. They're gonna try not to pay, which has been big problems in the Kaikoura area following the latest earthquake over there a few years back. The insurance are trying not to pay up, because that's what the insurance job is. Otherwise, the government doesn't pay for you to get a new house. It's not the government's job, I think. So no, that doesn't happen like that. Clay says, I will miss it too, haha. No, Dunedin is really awesome. Come on. Kshitij says, thank you so much, Robin and Laura. I watched the whole video. Really appreciate for all your hard work. This will be great help. No problem. Cool. So again, just watch the video alongside with the art I gave you, and I think you'll be all sweet and you'll be able to organize your whole thing. Watch that with a lady and do what she likes as well, I think you guys gonna enjoy your
and
trip.
some of the activities that we mentioned on the itinerary, we actually have videos for on our YouTube channel. So if you want to compare some of the kayaking tours, for instance, if you want to compare Cathedral Cove to maybe the Glacier Country kayaks that we talked about in Franz Josef, then watch those 2 videos and see which one you think would be best for you guys.
Yeah, also we did recommend to do whitewater rafting in River Valley, and we recommend to do whitewater rafting in Geraldine. So you watch both of those videos that we've done, and you check which one you feel like you like the most, because we were lucky enough to do almost all of those activities, right? And so then afterwards, you kind of, you're a bit spoiled, and you pick, whatever was grander or something. But it really depends on your own taste more than just what we decide, obviously. What does Mira say? She says, "Good morning. I'll definitely stick around." A good memory, sorry. Good
memory.
It's the morning. Cool. Yeah, of course, we remember people. We do like that. We don't have that many people watching all the time. 16 people. You get to, you get to know everybody by name. All right, guys. So while you guys are popping up with some more questions, we have another question from Clay. But yeah, so if you guys don't give us questions right now in the live chat, we do have some more throughout the week. So we'll go through that. Clay says, "Do you know of any activities in Queenstown that are cheap for the moment? It's our backyard, so plenty. But heading again in the 3rd of July." The scenic flight for the whole family, which is only $99 at the moment.
Nice.
Yes, there's a lot of really cheap activities at the moment. I think that there is a jet boat. Is this a Shotover or Carao jet, which right now does take the kids for free? So if I remember, you are traveling with the family usually, Clay. So I think you'll be able to pay for just the 2 adults and get the 2 kids for free, which is really good, because usually kids are about the same price than
or maybe half at the least.
Yeah,
but
it's quite expensive. So that's already quite a good one. You also have, what's this other thing which is doing cheap? The gondola. They were doing some special at the moment as well. So check out. I mean, if you go to Queenstown and you have kids, you have to go on the gondola. So there's this one as well. And if you are local, Zip Trek, which is doing zip lining, and that's actually up the gondola. I don't know if that's going to be all the way through July, but I saw that they were half price at the moment. So that's also a really good deal.
Nice.
That's just the one on the top of my head. Obviously, a little bit of research. You'll find, there's so many deals right now. So yeah, you'll find some pretty epic stuff to do. Ajus says, talk about the trains. New Zealand does have trains? ? Laura, does New Zealand have trains?
New Zealand does have trains, but the train network is pretty small in New Zealand. It's not really used as a sort of, like a transportation method like the buses are used for. Like the road network is very extensive in New Zealand, but in comparison, trains are more for scenic journeys.
It's an activity.
So there's one of the trains, one of the scenic journeys you can do is between Auckland and Wellington. So if you need to get all the way down to from the top of the North Island to the bottom of the North Island, then there's that option there. There's also trains between Picton and Christchurch, I think. Does it go all the way to Christchurch? Or does it just go to Kaikoura?
I think it goes down to
Christchurch.
It goes over to Christchurch.
So then you can go from Picton at the top of the South Island to Christchurch.
That's the coastal scenic railway.
Then between Christchurch and Greymouth's on the west coast of the South Island, there's the probably the most famous of the scenic train journeys is the Transalpine train journey. So that's kind of the 3 main ones. And then there are train transports sort of around Auckland, just as sort of like that's more for a transportation method, and also just around the Wellington area and the Wellington city and suburbs, they have trains there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There aren't many train networks actually going across the country or anything.
It's not a method of transportation. It's an activity. If you feel like you want to, see some different sceneries, and you'll see us doing the Transalpine, for example. And we also did the what's this gorge that we did?
Taieri
Gorge as well.
That's in Dunedin.
So in Dunedin, you can ask Clay about it. It's pretty awesome. And so you will do that kind of like a 1-day activity or a couple of days activities, more than just, you don't use it as transportation. If you want to use cheap transportation in New Zealand, you are taking a bus or you're renting a car. That's your 2 ways to do it. Clay say, awesome, cheers. That's the trouble with adding the kids. It makes it pretty harsh on the pocket in places like Queenstown. Yeah, don't go to Queenstown, man. There is so many other places to explore. Why would you go to Queenstown? I would go seriously drive all the way to Kaikoura. That's absolutely awesome. I know it's a bit further up, but like I would even go to Geraldine. We just talked about Geraldine. Go over there, do some rafting, or do some horse trekking with the kids. There is really awesome things to do. I wouldn't go to Queenstown, with the kids because it's just so expensive, and to me it just wouldn't make sense. But if you want to save some money and you need accommodation, I don't know if you stay with friend or not, do the same thing that we were suggesting to Kshitij. Go for hostels. A lot of people traveling with families don't think about hostels, and you get private family rooms. A lot of the hostels, they have family room, and we recommend them on the website. So if you go on nzpocketguide.com, you can find our recommendation of all the hostels, right? Go on the hostel that we recommend the most, like the absolute value accommodation in Queenstown, right? You go for that and then see if they have family room. Most of them do have a family room. You will save so much by just going with that family room. Usually family room accommodate 4 people. So I don't know how many people are in your tribe, but if your tribe is 4, you, your wife and the 2 kids, you should be good with a family room.
Yeah.
So I would strongly suggest that option, Clay. And we link to all the accommodation that we like down on the website. So it's nzpocketguide.com, and then you click on accommodation, and then you know where it is in South Island, and then you click on Queenstown. You should be good.
Yeah. We do have articles suggesting family accommodation as well, but it depends what your budget is. A lot of those articles sort of show more of the hotels and holiday parks and that sort of thing. But like Robin says, if you want to really save money, then hostels is usually a good way to go.
Yeah. Kshitij says, hey, Rob, just me. No, Laura, don't look at it. What is the update? Do any border open for India? Currently 1.5 lakh active COVID cases in India. So I'm thinking it's 1.5 thousand, I guess. I don't know what lakh is. So again, New Zealand's border are absolutely closed. We don't have much update. We wanted to actually record a video today about some of the updates and everything for that, but there is really not much, even for the border opening with Australia, because New Zealand and Australia wanted to create like a trans-Tasman bubbles. There hasn't been much update right now. They're still working out the kinks and everything like that, so it hasn't been sorted out yet. So I will actually say that you still have to wait quite a while, and December is still a big question mark right now for you. So right now, no information whatsoever. The only thing that we know is that it's closed. Leo Toledo say, hey guys, good morning. Hey Leo, that's been a while. How are you doing? I just says 150,000. 150,000. Okay, that's a flat no from New Zealand. I can tell you that. There is a currently problem with Australia because Australia has like 1,000 cases or something like that, and they're delaying the opening because they have 1,000 cases. So 150,000, hell no. So you guys need to get that in control, and then when you guys have it in control, then it's going to reopen with New Zealand. But the New Zealand government has been extremely cautious, extremely cautious. So just be careful with that. Clay Bryan says, oh no, never thought about that. Just assume we'll be put into a bunk room with load of stranger. I all for that, but not with the kids. We'll keep that in mind. Yeah, another thing, Clay, sometimes you can get a whole bunk dorm to yourself. You can do a private hire for the whole really cheap. That's how a lot of schools around New Zealand travel. Actually, we did that even during New Zealand's biggest gap year. When we were traveling and we were filming all around, we had, thousands of dollars worth of cameras with us and everything like that. And sometimes it was kind of like, okay, we just need to be able to spread everything out. When we stayed in an area for like a week, right? We need to be able to have all the computers everywhere with all the hard drives, running. And when we go do activities, we need to have the computer kind of processing videos and do all those kind of things, right? So we had different needs than just a traveler, right? And sometimes we literally just hide the whole dorm, and we get the whole dorm for like $110, $120, depending on where you are and everything. But that is cheaper than most hotel rooms, and you get so much space and everything. So traveling with kids is definitely worth checking that out. But almost every hostels right now in New Zealand, they go a little bit more upscale, right? It's not a hostel is not just a bunch of bunk dorms, right? Actually, bunk dorm in hostel are usually the exception. So you usually have like one 8-share dorm In some big places, you have like 116 share dorm, but that's really rare. In town, you will have a hostel that have like 2 or 3 8-share dorm, but most of the other stuff are either 4-share, which means that if you travel with your family, you take a 4-share that's $22 per bed. Here you go. That's $88, and you get the whole room to yourself for you and all your family. Let's say 25 if you have an ensuite bathroom, so it's even your own bathroom, so super handy with that. And the rest is private rooms, right? So in hostels, dorms are not necessarily the norm anymore. It's usually smaller dorms like 4-share or HS. So it's really great when you travel with friends. When we take people out, and like some people that come visiting and everything, we usually just hire the whole 4-share dorm just to us. And so you guys, they're just the 4 of us, and you're staying with your friends, and it's quite fun. It's much easier that way.
Yeah.
So think about that when you travel, and we actually talk about that quite a lot on the website. So I know it's hard to read, Clay. I know reading is a pain. I'm the first one to say like just go with videos, but we really get information there, and we rank all the hostel we like and all that. So yeah, check that out. Do you want to read what Maddie says? Well, I try to.
So Maddie says, we are thinking of renting a camper van for our 3-week trip in New Zealand. Recommendations for the best camper van rental companies. Thank you. Appreciate your advice.
It's a hard one because everybody has different needs when it comes down to camper vans. So that's why the way we actually did our recommendation of camper van on the website was actually slightly different, where we kind of really descriptive of each companies.
Yeah, so what we've got on NZ Pocket Guide are camper van comparison articles. But yeah, it really depends if you're looking for motorhomes, if you're looking for luxury, or if you're looking for more budget options. But yeah, on our website, if you go on nzpocketguide.com and search in the transport section, we have a
prepare your trip, then transportation, and then camper van.
Okay, prepare your trip, transportation, and then camper van. We have a ton of different sort of comparisons. So we have like budget camper van comparisons, we have family camper van comparisons, and comparisons of all the sort of main camper van companies in all, like starting from Auckland or starting from Queenstown, all that sort of stuff.
I was wrong. Can you click for Maddie? Just look at it. So it's travel tips.
So travel tips.
Yeah.
Transportation.
Here you go.
And then rental camper van.
Here you go. And here at this section of the site, when it's going to be loading, you will have all our tips and also all our ranking of like the best camper van companies that we do like for traveling in New Zealand. So and accessing the website is all free and everything, but I think that'd be a bit easier for you, Maddie, because with little details right now, there's so many, everybody has different needs, as well as depends who you're traveling with. If you're like Clay and you travel with 4 people, 2 adults and 2 kids, then at that point, camper van wise, you will have very different needs if it's just you, or if it's just you and your boyfriend, for example. So everybody's so different. So if you look at those articles that we have right here, we literally describe every company, like what they include, what the camper van are like, what type of camper van they have, and everything. So it's a bit of a, I don't know, it's a bit more in there. I know it's hard to read. Again, I know I'm asking everybody to go and read words. And I'm really sorry. I hate reading words as well. Or if you give us more details, we can cover that in a later video, Maddie. We're happy to help, of course. Leo says, I'm great. Congratulations on the way you solved the pandemic. New Zealand is an example to the world. Well, thank you very much. I did that myself.
Yeah, I did tell Jacinda what she needed to do, and she listened, so it was good.
No, but everybody, like, it was true. Everybody actually did take it seriously. Where we live, the neighbors, everybody was staying at home, and everybody was kind of checking on each other. There's a few old people like in some house not too far, and we checked on them. Some people checked on them, just making sure that everybody was fine. And when going supermarket, everybody was going less often supermarket, but doing their shopping. Everybody was behaving very well. So actually New Zealand did come together and solve that thing. And the fact that we're on an island and we get to close the airport is pretty handy. You just say don't come, we don't get the virus. That's pretty good. So on that hand, we did get help by basic geography.
Yes. And the fact that it didn't sort of come to New Zealand till much later. New Zealand could also sort of learn from the mistakes from other countries. So I think New Zealand was pretty lucky in that way.
All right. So says, I've made a working holiday visa in February. What do you think New Zealand will reopen before my expiry date for the visa? I hope the government will postpone the expiry date due to the closure of the border. February is quite far down the track. So again, it depends on how your country is doing. New Zealand will not just reopen its border and everybody can come in, right? The way New Zealand is going to do it, it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to make an agreement with the country. So right now we're looking at Australia. And so New Zealand is like, okay, Australia, you have 1,000 cases. Can you solve that? And then we're going to reopen the border and we're going to have free travel between both countries. And then they're going to look at the South Pacific. You know, there is Fiji, there is Tonga, there's Niue, there's Samoa. There's a lot of countries there. And they're relatively free from the disease over there. So they're going to look at those and say, okay, we're going to start reopening. So they're going to agree with some countries to reopen there. Then they're going to look at other countries, and then they're going to, they're literally just going to look at how the other countries are faring. And if your country is faring well, then, they're probably going to start reopening. It also depends on the policy of your country. So if your country is faring well, but you let anyone travel there, then there is a risk of spreading the disease, and then New Zealand's gonna be like, maybe not. So it's kind of how that's gonna work. With that in mind, February, it's about 10 months from now, 8-10 months from now. So there is chances that things are gonna be reopening by that time. New Zealand economy relies heavily on tourism, right? New tourism is the largest industry in New Zealand, and then second is farming and thereon. So if you want the economy to be able to sustain itself, you do need some tourists. And so for this reason, New Zealand has high incentive into reopening the borders, but even decides. So for this reason, we can't give you an answer right now. But February, I don't think it's that bad. So I think you may be okay. But again, it's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
We are trying to work on an update for you guys, but gathering information and having enough basically new information for you guys is quite hard right now. So we the kind of people who say, like, I don't like to do a video just to be able to put big words right here, like New Zealand border opening dates and everything. I don't like to do that because it's usually kind of false. We can't give you that.
Yeah.
But as soon as we do get some information, we will definitely do a video for you guys. By the way, we have like about 20 people right here in the live chat, so we'll do a bit of a giveaway. But before we get started with the giveaway, if you guys want to hit the like button, there's 20 people watching right now, so if you can get 20 likes, that'd be pretty awesome. It's a great way to say thank you for all the hard work helping you plan a trip to New Zealand. Now, we're going to be doing a quick giveaway. What are we offering today, Laura?
It's a lovely New Zealand related wine cooler.
Yeah, so it's like neoprene. It keeps your wine cool when you go to the beach or when you travel around, and it's also kind of a little bit padded. So if you travel and you want to bring some wine back to someone, you can put that in there. So it's New Zealand. It says sweet as, it says Aotearoa. There's some fine tail, Pukeko, kiwi bird. It's quite cool. So we find out at the gift shop, and we thought you guys may like it. So if you want to win that, it's going to be really easy. So a few years back, we done something called New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, where we done videos every single day for 365 days, and we done 365 activities all around New Zealand. One of those days, we went to the Hokitika Gorge. So the Hokitika Gorge was fantastic. It was a great day out, and it was one of the days between day 1 and day 365. Now, all you've got to do is in the next 5 minutes, type which day number that is. So you have one chance between 1 and 365, and the closest person to that date range will send them this awesome wine cooler. So it's pretty simple. 365 days. Which day did we go to the Hokitika Gorge? And you get to win that. Simple as. So we think it would be fun to send you something. I know everybody's stuck at home right now. I usually really like waiting for a parcel.
Everybody wants to come to New Zealand. So we thought we'd send you a piece of New Zealand.
Exactly.
Just while it's at the time when you can't actually come.
Here you go. And between 1 and $365, just put some numbers. Mira, last time, you remember you need to put some numbers in there. So yeah, go crazy.
Just put a number in there. Hope for the best.
And so we'll give you about 5 minutes to put some numbers in there. And if we get more than one person, which is close enough or something, or about the same number, we'll find a way to kind of split it. Split
tiebreaker.
Yeah, do a tiebreaker right here. Go for numbers. But yeah, we did quite a lot of activities. That was quite fun. All right. So in the meantime, were there any other questions? No, everybody's getting some guess. Yeah, go nuts on the guesses, guys.
Yeah.
Go crazy. It's always fun to have some guess. All right. What's your favorite New Zealand wine, Laura, by the way?
My favorite New Zealand wine, well, I have to say, in the Marlborough region, which is the largest wine growing region in New Zealand, there's a place called Framingham Wines. I liked the winery and I like the wines.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I did really. Where that's one was an activity that we did. We actually did wine tasting, and we did a lot of tasters. So the video will get progressively worse as we go during that video. That's quite fun. Yeah. What else did we do on the video when we saw the Hokitika Gorge?
What else did we do? Oh, I think we just mainly saw the Hokitika Gorge because there was a walk there.
What is it famous for?
The blue.
Yeah, tell us about the Hokitika Gorge. They have like, you guys have 3 more minutes to guess, so we're going to tell you about the Hokitika Gorge.
So Hokitika Gorge is a nice short walk to a very scenic area of the west coast. It's basically the scenic area has beautiful sort of milky blue waters going through this river gorge, surrounded by sort of real rocky sort of so like river walls, and there's also lots of beautiful native New Zealand forest. Even in the distance, you can see some mountains of the Southern Alps. But it's mainly the main attraction of Hokitika Gorge is just how blue that water is. It kind of looks unbelievable. It's kind of like something that, you know, out of a children's coloring book where they color in the water blue.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Hokitika Gorge, it's also, it's not too much of a detour off the main road as you're traveling down the west coast. And it only takes you about sort of 20 minutes to walk down to the bottom, get some photos, go across the swing bridge and come back up again. So yeah, it's a good quick thing to do.
Just get an insect repellent because there's a lot of sandflies.
There's a lot of sandflies, yes.
All right, so we've had a few guests. We have Chitish that says day 114. Clay that says day 114. Anthony, he says he's taking a guess at 128. Jane says 125. Christy says 114. Says 99. Anthony says 268. Adil says 327. Hugo says 223. And Aju says 114 bullseyes. All right, so this is over. Stop giving us guess, guys. We do have 4 people which actually get the right day. That was day 114, the Hokitika Gorge. So Kshitij, Clay, Christy, and Aju, you guys are all right, basically. So we're going to need to find a tiebreaker because we can't buy a gift and send them to everyone all the time. The last one I sent cost me $18 to just send. So we're going to need to split that around. So the bonus question is, what is Laura's favorite type of wine? So there is a ton of different type of wine, like Pinot Noir and Champagne and all those kind of things. So what would be Laura's favorite type of wine? That would be perfect to go inside this wine cooler. So if you guys can just type whatever...
some types of wine.
Yeah, type what look at his face. What type of wine do you think she prefer? So the first of you guys that's going to type the correct type of wine for Laura's favorite wine will win. So I'm not cheating or anything. I did write it at the back of this paper, so I'll be able to show it to you. But yeah, so if you guys guess what is Laura's favorite type of wine, actually it's a wine which is very well produced. In New Zealand. Actually, they do a lot of this type of wine.
So as we were just talking before, we talked about how one of my favorite wines was in the Marlborough region. Yeah. So maybe that would give you a bit of a
Marlborough is famous for this kind of wine. Yeah, indeed. So yeah, she actually, you can see her drink this kind of wine in several of our videos. Sorry, Adil, you're a little bit late with 244. So Clay says, I'm all good, guys. It was fun to panic search for the answer. No worries, just go for the wine for Laura, man. We're happy to send you a present. Hugo says, congrats to all the winner. Okay, so again, Clay, Kshitij, Ju, and Christy. If you guys want to guess what is Laura's favorite wine, the first one of you guys that put anything on the live chat, you're gonna get, get the right answer. Sorry, you get this thing sent to you. What do you think is Laura? Oh, Oh, Jane, first guess. Look at that.
Boom, boom, boom. Well, Jane actually didn't get the first answer right.
Oh, Jane didn't get the first answer. Oh, Christy, you got it. Christy.
Yeah.
Up, here you go. Christy, you win. Yeah, because Jane, you got 125. You didn't. Yeah. Christy, if you want to send me on Facebook your address, you will receive this thing. Congratulations.
This beautiful wine cooler.
This thing. Sorry. Oh, here you go. You get that. we don't have this whole giveaway stuff sorted out just yet.
We're a little bit rusty on the giveaways.
But it'll get better if you guys enjoy it. We'll do some more. But yeah, cool. All right, we've got a winner. It's Christy Washt. Here you go. Send us a message on Facebook with your address, and yeah, we'll send you a little present. Yeah, cool. Here you go. Anthony says, "Have a safe week." Thank you, Anthony. We're not done just yet.
Well, he's done with us.
Yeah,
so.
You're done with us. All right, guys. So if you have some last fire question, we have 6 more minutes with you guys, and we're happy to answer anything. Yes, Kshitiz, that was Sauvignon Blanc, so well done. But Christy was there just a tad before you. Actually, Jane said it first, but because she didn't get the right day first, sadly she wasn't in the competition. But she was there last time, Jane, and you'll be here next time. Next time we do a giveaway, probably not next week because we need to go to the shop and get some stuff for you guys. So it will take a little bit of time. As you say, JD.
Good night.
Oh, good night. That's what it is. All right. I'm not in with the kids. I'm too old for that. But yeah, so yeah, we probably need a couple of more weeks until we can do a giveaway because we need to go all the way to the shop and get some stuff.
All the way to the shop.
But yeah, we'll be happy to send you that. We just so you know, we save the planet. We send you all those parcels in bags which are compostable. So we don't add plastic to what we get here, guys. Just making it clear. And there was the Engineer 77 that won it last time. I don't know if he or she received it. Actually, I know it's a he, since we got the address, but I don't know. Christy, yeah, you can send it to us on Instagram if you want, or otherwise in the About page of this channel. If you go on YouTube, on the About page, you can find our email address, so you can also send me an email. But yeah, if you have a friend, you can get a friend to send us a message on Facebook. It's fine. And good on you for not having Facebook. We use Facebook on a personal level almost never. We literally only have a Facebook account because you need to have a Facebook account in order to have an account for your business or anything like that. So yeah, good on you for not having Facebook. But yeah, you can do either. So Christy, you can either send us an email. You can find our email address on the About page of this Facebook. On the YouTube channel. Yeah. You can send it to us on Facebook through your friend if you want, Instagram if you want, or you can, just sort something out. We can sort something out. Aju says, thank for all that talk time, guys. You guys are amazing. You're very welcome, Aju.
You're welcome.
Kshiti says, good night and take care. Jane says, wanted to say thanks for all the travel tips. We were in New Zealand in February and March. Chamois alpaca were a highlight and dolphin in Akara. Oh, yeah, cool. The dolphin in Akara was fun. The alpaca is so weird animal, isn't it? It's so weird. Actually,
it's so cute.
guess where Laura got this hat?
Actually, yeah, this is from Chamois alpaca.
So
with the alpaca wool. It's nice and warm.
If you did get something from Chamois alpaca, Jane, please listen to me. Do not put it in the washing machine. I had the hat as well.
Put it on alpaca. Put it on the hand wash setting or something. Yeah.
Because sadly, I destroyed my Chamois alpaca hat, and I'm very, very, very sad about it.
Yes.
Because I'm really jealous. It's so warm. They're so soft and everything. Oh, they're fantastic stuff. So yeah, did you get something, Jane, from Chamois? Clay says, have a good one, guys. Stay warm. Yeah, we literally, you saw me trying to fight with the heat pump.
Can you tell that we're a bit chilly?
But yeah, it is pretty cold today. But now the heat pump is blasting heat, so we're back to the warmth of the heat pump.
So for you guys, actually on the northern hemisphere of the world, actually right now in June is winter in New Zealand.
So while you guys are warm, we are definitely cold. So yeah. How cold is it for you, Clay? Because Clay is in Dunedin. Dunedin is on the South Island. So we're based in the North Island of New Zealand, which is, warmer than the South Island. The South Island probably already start having snow. So yeah. Jane says, we got a sweater and a hat. Yeah.
Nice.
Please do not ruin them like I did. You will regret it for years. There has been multiple years that I'm still upset about it. Damn. And Maddie says, sending someone weather from the USA, 19 degrees in Iowa. Oh my gosh, Maddie, 90 degrees. Wow. Okay. I hope that is degrees Fahrenheit and not degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Because in degrees Celsius, around 100 degrees, that's when the water boils. So it's probably not that warm.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Maddie, if you do have some further questions about your camper van trip, you know, like you heard a bit of the question that we got at the beginning of the video, or if you haven't, just rewind the video and see how much detail Kshitij gave us to give us some feedback and some enough understanding on the question. And then we'd be really happy to talk with you about camper van companies and everything like that. But we do need a little bit more context. So what you can do is that think about all your kind of criteria and everything and put your question in the comment of any of our videos on YouTube. And we pull them and then we print them. And then we answer them during the live session when you guys are warming up a little bit, to ask questions and everything. So if you want to do that, Maddie will be super happy to answer your question about traveling with the camper van. But first, check out the link that the website that we told you to check out, because you will find that there's a ton of information there. And then you're probably going to have like, okay, this is the 3 companies I'm hesitating with, and this is my criteria. Robin and Laura, help us. And we're super happy to do that, for instance. Wow, Clay said it was -2 this morning. Man, I was complaining. We were at 3 degrees this morning and I was complaining. Justin says, you think traveling from Canada to New Zealand in July is a good idea? Not bother with the cold. You won't be able to travel this July because the borders are closed. So that's pretty simple. Aside from that, we do really like July. It's winter in New Zealand. If you're from Canada, I lived in Canada for a while. You won't be bothered by the New Zealand weather. It's about the same kind of temperature, the same thing. So, just come prepared and you'll be absolutely fine. The good thing with July is that the mountains and everything look fantastic with so much snow. And there's very little amount of tourists aside from the skiing hotspots. Aside from that, definitely a great idea to travel around New Zealand. It's fantastic. Accommodation are usually cheaper. There's no one around. Activities are sometimes cheaper as well. So yeah, July definitely good. And Clay said 3 degrees currently. So yeah, it's about what we had this morning. I think it's warming up right now for us.
Yeah.
And Justin say, yes, I have to rebook my trip for next year, July now. Yeah. But definitely July is a great time to travel in New Zealand. Actually, if you do want our take on the actual month of July, if you go on nzpocketguide.com, and if you're lazy, you just type July in the search bar, but you can also go on travel tips and then essential and then weather and climate. And then we actually have a whole article where we say what we like in July, what we recommend for July. So I'll show you on here. So Lady Do, can you do it for him on the stuff? So look at that, Justin.
Travel tips.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just loading. Travel tips. Is it essentials?
Yeah.
And then we have the...
On New Zealand month by month, there's one of them.
New Zealand month by month.
Here you go. So New Zealand month by month, and there you have every single month. Click on July, and you have our take of which regions are best to visit and why, and all those kind of things for you. And I think you're really going to find that useful, Justin. I'm sorry, I'm destroying your name. And then what is Maddie saying? Maddie says, thanks. We will look at the website regarding camper vans and we'll get back to you with further questions. Super happy to do that with you, Maddie. See you next week.
And you will notice on NZ Pocket Guide, there are a few little bugs around the website. We are going through some changes on NZ Pocket Guide at the moment. Some of the words are all grouped together. Some of the paragraphs don't look very nice. But yeah, this is starting from this week or next week. We are going to be updating the whole website and making sure that we get it back to the easy-to-read website NZ Pocket Guide once was.
Yeah. So we're working on that right now. So you guys are going to be able to enjoy a bug-free website really soon. And then Christy says, hi, I have asked a friend to send a message to you via Facebook. Thank you so much for today's video. It was great.
You're welcome.
That's a great way to finish the day. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. We'll be back next week at exactly the same time. So it is on.
So, like I say, we do this at 8 a.m. New Zealand time every single Sunday. But around the world, in the UK and France, that's on a Saturday evening at 9 or 10 p.m. In the US, that's on a Saturday at 4 p.m. EST or 1 p.m. PST. In India, that's on a Sunday morning at 1:30 a.m. And in Australia, that is on on Sunday morning at 6 a.m.
Oh my God, we got to 20 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you so
Yay.
much. That's so
Thanks.
cool. Thank you so much for clicking the like button, guys. You are awesome. I can't believe this. I think that's the first time we got 20 likes on a live video. That's nice. Oh, it makes me feel good. Thank you, guys. All right, and so yeah, we see you at 8 a.m. on Sunday, New Zealand time next week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.
See you next week and stay safe.